And we're so excited to be here with you guys today because I have the Miss Jana Droessler here today, who is a sales coach and mindset mentor. And if you guys are here, because we can't tell, and while we were just having great conversation, but we'd like to talk to you as well. Let us know that you're here by putting in the comments what type of business you're in and where are you joining us from today. And I'm going to go ahead and continue just to give everybody a heads up. Restream, StreamYard, no matter what you're doing, there's always a little bit of lag. So we're not ignoring your comments. We're just waiting on them to come through, and we will continue talking while we're waiting on those. So you guys, let us know where you're dialing in from. Yana, I'm so excited. I know. I was so excited. I've had such an amazing amount of guests. For everyone, and I know there was a lot of people interested when we talked about the sabotaging your cells. I've been getting DMs about that, how excited about it, which is why I ask you here for that today. We know money mindset's what sabotages your cells. We want to stop that. And before we get too deep, let me tell you a little bit about Jana. Jana has 15 years in high-ticket sales in the corporate world, working with companies like Mars, Citibank, and PCW. Yes, she's worked with the big guys. She's now using that to help female business owners earn more by working less, by rewiring their mindset for abundance. And I can tell you guys, this stuff works. Jana, you've achieved incredible success with an abundance mindset. Did you say hi to everyone? Please tell us, is there a certain story or turning point in your journey where that abundance mindset that you know transformed everything?
Oh, thanks, Heidi, for having me here. And also thanks for the introduction and this wonderful question. So there is usually a story, right? And most of the time, the story goes like, I had some problems, I overcome it, and I have now these wonderful results. So when I was digging deep into my story, it's like, no, I was lucky one, maybe one of few lucky ones that I had always abundant, especially money abundant mindset. And when I was like mentally preparing or rehearsing, why is actually that? Maybe because of my mom. My mom had very money scarcity mindset. And she didn't want, probably, I'm guessing here, that she didn't want that I do have it. So she did certain things. She always told me, you will always have enough. You will always be. There was a certain talk, certain speech, and I always knew I will always have enough money. I will always be rich. I will always be money abundant. So it wasn't issue. I just somehow didn't understand why also the people around me are not. Why they are thinking, oh, I can't afford that. I can't go there on holidays or vacation or something, or oh, this we cannot do. There was this money constraints around me. I didn't like it. I really already from very small kid, I wanted that everybody is rich, everybody is prosperous. I always thought that we have enough, and in a way, I made it my mission that it's the reality that we are. At least maybe not everybody. Maybe I will not live up to this. But nowadays, the conscious is really changing, and we live in more abundance, and this is a good so. So if I can help a little bit with it, with my help, I'm already happy.
That is amazing. And that's so amazing that your mom realized her own and worked to help you have a different mindset in that. Because I can tell you a lot of my money beliefs come from my parents. And I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I've had some shitty money beliefs I'm working to overcome. And they come from my mom and dad. It's truly amazing. I was 50 years old and I am still working to remove those things that were ingrained from such a young age. Like my dad used to work 16 hours a day. So that whole thing, if you weren't working hard, then that's why you're not making enough money and this kind of stuff. And my mom, I mean, we won't even talk about her spending habits. But anyway. So a lot of us get from that particular age, we get it from those
Yeah.
formative years. And so I'm impressed that your mom was one who recognized that and shared with you that, so that you did grow up with that. And that's truly a blessing. I mean, it really is.
Well, Heidi, I need to stop you because it does not mean that I didn't have any.
Oh, I'm
For
not saying
example,
you didn't have any. You just didn't get them from
yeah,
all from your mom.
yeah, yeah. But it can go also the other way, She also somehow, sometimes mention you can have all the money, but not when you will be working on your own. Also, the
Ooh.
seed, she probably wanted me to be safe and to stay be
Mhm.
employed in a big company where I was. But I didn't see myself working in the corporate. And although I was for some period of time, this wasn't really my dream. I always wanted to be entrepreneur, but there was this limiting belief. So you see, I didn't have that money will come. I knew money will come, but it was selective. I had some issue knowing money will come not through the business, and I had to work on this limiting belief as well. So doesn't matter. We all have them. We all
Yes.
have some limiting beliefs, and we need to work them. And especially when we are entrepreneurs, we need to work on them because it influences our business, right?
Absolutely, it does. And it's funny you said that because I actually got my entrepreneur mindset from my parents. So I got the blessing of that. And I don't make as good an employee because of that. But let's dive into this because some people may not understand what a scarcity mindset and an abundance mindset is. I mean, we know, I'll go ahead with a scarcity mindset, of course, is fixed and abundance is growth. But let's tell everybody what exactly that means so that they can recognize it.
Yes. Um, Also, maybe before we explain what is it, why is it so important? Because the mindset
Okay.
actually precedes the reality. So we cannot become somebody else as we are, who we are. And that's why it's so important that we have a certain image of us, certain identity of us. We hold it in our minds. So we cannot become something more, somebody more or more rich than our identity currently is. And that's why it's very important what kind of mindset we have. And the mindset, what people think mindset, this is not always clear, right? So the word mindset is so used now, even
That's
maybe
true.
overused. But what is it exactly? Is all your thinking, how you process information, and how you act on it. And
Hmm.
so this is about now when we are talking about money mindset. So everything how we process the information about the money, so how much we want to even make is influenced by our image, money mindset, but how much we want to have, but how much we believe we could have. That's already starts there. So that's why it's very, very important. An abundant mindset means actually compared to scarcity mindset that it's open, that you can have whatever you want. It's up to you. There is no limitation. Abundance means there is plenty of. So it's not restricted. It's not restricted in your mind. So how much do you want to claim? And maybe not everybody will want to be millionaire or milliardaire or whatever. That's
Exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
Why not to have what we want? And this is possible to achieve only when we have abundant mindset. On the other hand,
Yeah.
scarce. Yeah, scarcity is more like you believe you can't have more than certain amount. You can't spend therefore more because you don't see that you will be able to earn. So the scarcity is the acting based upon the something is missing, something will be noticed. I'm not trusting myself, my abilities to earn so much or to get so much or maybe to keep so much. So yeah, that's the basic differentiation.
Yeah, so let's put that into terms with for the way a business owner will see this pop up. So with the scarcity mindset, that is maybe when you're feeling heavily in competition with your peers. I mean, really, your only competition is yourself, but you start comparing yourself to other people and you start thinking of them as the competition. Or
Mm,
maybe you're thinking there's not enough clients available. I mean, there's not enough for everyone, yours aren't there. Or maybe you stop taking action because you feel helpless because things aren't going the way you wanted them to. One commonplace I see it showing up is like they're afraid of giving away too much. I'm sure you've heard this on a program or like a lead magnet. They're like, or on their social media, I hear this one all the time. It's like, oh, well, if I give it all away, nobody's going to buy anything. You hear that one all the time. So that's all scarcity mindset, and that's how it shows up heavily in our businesses. Any can you add to
yes.
that?
Yes. And we can actually talk about every one of them. It's so important. And to add, I think also to invest in yourself, to invest into the programs they can make you. Sometimes people are not willing to invest, even if there is like backup guarantee. So, for example, even 100% guarantee, so there is nothing to lose, but they are unable to invest because there is this trust, this
Yeah.
mistrust themselves. So yeah, so yeah, you mentioned some which are really 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 good, like giving a content, giving a lot. So there is a need for the flow, giving and receiving. It's the same action, just the opposite part of it, and
Yeah.
this needs to be a free flow. And when we are in abundant mindset, then we are absolutely free to give. We know that with information alone is not what makes people buy. It's the application of the information, it's the processing. That's when they will need you. But also, it puts us in a position to do something about it. We need to be good at something, right? Because
Yeah.
information, which is freely available, if it's the only thing we have, it's not enough. We have to become master in something. We need to become better at something, helping people to achieve what they want. Then we will have always so much. If we achieve for others what they want, we'll be rich. That's for sure. So that
Yeah. I
was
mean,
a
yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, you're so right. When we grab hold of it and we just hang on to it so tight that we're not giving anything, we can't expect to receive more. I mean, that's a really big thing is to get more, we do have to give. And I think a lot of people miss that.
but also constantly improving because it cannot be that we know only just a little bit and we want to keep living on it. There is no
Hmm.
limit because there is abundance. That's also in this respect. There is abundance of the knowledge what we can learn. So we will always learn. We will always become better. That's why we will always have and know more and can do for other people more.
That's why I always call
So
myself a work in progress because I know I'm unfinished and I'm always growing and changing, which is the abundance mindset too.
exactly. And that's great. That's great approach. Thanks for mentioning. But also you mentioned something which I would like to elaborate more on when you said comparison. Well,
Yes.
I think it's actually impossible to prevent somebody to compare. If you think about it, we always do it. I have
Of
two
course.
boys, and you can tell them don't compare. You know, it's not impossible. Everything in our life, in our school, people don't. They already compare notes. They yeah. In I don't know, in sports we always we have the rating, so we compare on the LinkedIn, right? We have likes, we have how many connections you have, or so we always compare. So instead of being unrealistic and just say you don't have competition, you or you just you need to compare yourself with yourself yesterday. Instead, like be realistic. Let's acknowledge we do compare, and just let let us be mindful when we compare ourselves where the other people are. If they are in the beginning of the journey the same as you are, and you compare, that makes sense. But if they are already more advanced and you are in the beginning of the journey, that's really comparing like pears and apples.
Yeah.
And this comparison trap needs to be also discussed. And in a way, it can help us if we compare with other people, they are on the same journey and they do something better. Why not? Investigate, find out why. It can help us to be better. So instead to put it as an evil, let's just be more mindful about that. I think it will help. This is
No,
one of my
I
take.
agree. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. It's not that, yeah, we're human, we compare. I think we're just, that's the way the human mind, and it's also how we learn. But I think the difference is when you start in that aspect, when you compare and you start looking at that as the bad, oh, they're bad because they're doing so much better than me, or putting yourself down because, well, they're doing that and I should be. And of course, we know should immediately set us up there. But instead, if you're looking at someone else and you're inspired by what's going on with them, maybe you're celebrating their success, that you're not trying to put them or yourself down because they're being successful. Because you know, a common comment that you hear a lot is the way people look at it. People who don't have as much as other people. A common phrase you'll hear is well, you know, well, they're rich, so of course they can, or that whatever. You know, that whole mindset. But in reality, celebrate where they're at. Use them as inspiration. I mean, that's how I look at that. As people ahead of me in business, or even somebody who's not and still got some amazing win. I mean, I'm not going to say that the little green jealousy head doesn't rear occasionally. I'm a human being. Every now and then I'm just like, well, why not me? Why them? But most of
Mhm.
the time I'm like, hey, I'm really truly celebrating that their success, and I'm
That's
using
good.
that to say, I if they can do it, I can do it. You know.
Yes, that's good. That's good approach. And also, if there is some jealousy, that's really like a red flag, and we have to work on it. And at least it tells us something is not processed. So we had to work
Yeah.
on it and to clear it so that we don't have any negative emotions. Here we are touching another point when we're talking about the mindset, like what these emotions are doing. These emotions are putting us in certain energy state. So some people talk about frequency. So this is how the others pick us up and measure, because this nonverbal communication is even more powerful. So being in a good state, having a good vibration, this is how we attract the right clients. This is how we attract actually the life we want to have. So it's so important. And it does not mean that we have it all the time, as you said, but we are working on it. And to have
Mhm.
awareness, that's so important.
Well, and you mentioned, I mean, it just goes back, like I said, I mean, we're a work in progress. And I think recognizing that, but I also look at it like if the little jealousy rears just a little bit, I look at it like that's something that it's a belief inside of me that I need to work on. So I use that as a point of, okay, I got some work to do. So I
Exactly.
find that, yeah, exactly.
Well, another things when you mention when it can really like show us our money mindset, which is stopping us. So we talk about how much do we want, how much we are willing to invest. We talk about like not giving, like being scared of giving, but also charging higher prices. That's
Hmm.
also one area when it shows up. Or maybe
Yeah.
also sometimes it means working with the clients who are already more advanced. And I have seen a lot of resistance from people. And these are just the myths. First of all, like high paying clients are none other people like we are. It's just that they have more pressing need to solve this problem. So that's why they are able, willing not to lose time, but to spend and invest on it and solve this problem. So it can be actually even easier. It definitely is usually shorter when you sell. The method of the time of between the connection and selling is shorter, and it is extremely rewarding. So there is no need to be scared about that. So do we
Yeah,
have
we
some questions or no?
I don't know. I was going to see if anyone is here. If you have, what are your limiting beliefs about money? How do they show up? Let us know in the comments what beliefs you've had that you know have like impacted your sales or your ability to get clients. Just how does that show up for you? Let us know in the comments. Now, since we've been talking about all this, let's talk about, we've talked about, of course, how many of these money beliefs are. So let's start going into shifting those beliefs. How do we cultivate that genuine feeling of
Mm.
abundance so that, say, even sales are slow, you're not getting the results you expected or wanted? How do we operate and stay in this abundance mindset?
Hmm. Oh, you are having some difficult
Ooh,
questions.
we're
Yes.
throwing the
Yeah.
good stuff out there.
First of all, also, and you are not alone. And I think it's difficult to do alone. I cannot really advise somebody to do it on their own because honestly, I don't know anybody who really like overcome anything really substantial to make something nice alone. And we are as a human, we are not such individualistic creatures as we believe we are. Everything happens in community. So, and this is also your work and your recent work is so important about that, building the community. So definitely not being alone. When we are alone, then all these limiting beliefs and doubts, they can have some nasty um, they can become really bigger and have some nasty impact. So when we are going this loop, then we are just then reinforcing, and our mind is want us logical mind want us prove right. So if we doubt ourselves and if we are in this loop, it will just show more cases how it will happen. So we will be more and more in the hole. And the longer it is, the harder it is to really get off this hole. So it's better not to be alone. That's first advice. And to be in a positive loop, it means really like stay always in this momentum to stay ahead when there is some negative feedback is not failure, is a negative feedback. So just taking, processing information. And I think this is where the mentors are so important. People think that mentor will tell you what to do. These are not really good mentors when they are just telling what to do. They help you to interpret the data, the feedback. That's where they are very important. So you have somebody who will help you to interpret feedback, to improve where it is, so it can also change. And what needs to change first is this energy inside. One has to believe, we know there is a scientific evidence, we know already what it makes people who are successful. They absolutely believe in themselves. Well, it's
Yep.
easy to believe when there is evidence. When you have success, wow, then you believe in
Yes.
yourself. Yeah, it's easy, right? But when you are not there yet, yeah, then be with somebody who will hold this for you, will hold this belief. And it can be mental, it can be group, it can be a container. Then this is the easiest way. And I don't know if not the only way.
Yeah, no, I agree. It makes it much different. I mean, and when you have someone there helping you and holding the belief, like you said, until you can believe it again. I mean, because sometimes we slip. I mean, yesterday I had a little tantrum. Things were going slow. It's not that things aren't happening; they're just going slower than I wanted, expected. Things have just so I had my moment yesterday, and I just took a
Mm,
break. I went out and had a walk. I talked to my husband, which was really good because he was holding it for me, which is good because sometimes I can hand it over to him for a moment. And then I came back today and I feel good today. But if I had continued yesterday operating from that, I would have actually done myself more harm by continuing to try to post content and just put myself out there in that belief. So I think that's important to acknowledge when you're feeling in that. First thing to do is maybe stop whatever it is you're doing. Take a break, walk away, take a nap. Naps for me are beautiful things.
yes. But when people are already where you are, I mean, that means they are in a great place. But usually, when there are some problems, maybe they are still a step behind. And I would like to mention something I actually learned from you. You know, sometimes we need these reminders, and although I know about it, you actually put it about the lead key. Don't have a double standard. Do what you want that others do for you. So if you want that your posts are liked and commented, do this also for others.
Yes.
Yes, yes, I remember it. That's true. And the same, like people want to have a lot of clients so that these people are coming to their doors. They don't hesitate. They pay in full. They don't make even long decision. They decide quickly. Is this also what they are doing? Is this also how they are on the other side when they are buying? Is the
I'm
same
assuming.
behavior?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it
this is what
is. It's the same energy you're putting out, and that's what I always tell. You know this. That is a great example of it. Is I'm always reminding people because people are like, "Well, I'm not getting any comments. There's no engagement on my content." Literally, my first question is, "Well, are you engaging with other people?" You can't expect it back if you aren't doing it. And it's the same with getting clients and money and friends and whatever it is you want in your life, which goes back to give and receive again. We're back, we
yes.
get full circle.
Exactly. It's the same energy. It's the same energy. So how you spend, you also receive. There is a mirroring. So we need to be aware. And the best, and you know it already from my work, that I think the easiest way how we can change, for example, to have the abundant money mindset or anything else we want in life, is to start inside. So to work on ourselves more when we are not the match of the person who will have these dreams and physical evidences and material things what we want, to work on ourselves, to change it. This is the easiest way, because then after we don't need to hustle, we just need to do the things differently.
Yeah, we know we want to get rid of that hustle and grind culture, and this is how you can do that for sure. And I want to, and let's talk about a little, because whenever I did your money mindset program back in, we started, I think, November, and finished in December last year, and there was a lot of what you did that I took a lot away, but the one thing that really took away was raising my energy levels, my vibration levels. And I know, guys, you're going to think this is woo and all this, but there's actually science behind this and stuff. So really, vibration is kind of raising your attitude. Let's just put it that way for those people who aren't as woo. It's about getting yourself into a good attitude versus a low attitude, or high energy versus low energy. And one thing Jana really brought out for me was some of the exercises when we were working, focused on changing money beliefs and money mindset and stuff, was about the vibrations and raising those so we attract what we're looking to attract. Of course, the higher vibration, the more likely we are to attract those paid in full clients, those people who are willing to pay our top rates and things like that. Talk to everybody a little bit about that, because that was one thing that really stayed with me, and I continue using.
That's good. This is like what we already know, that it's the fastest way is when you already imagine yourself to have it. And this is like future you. Whatever this future you I want to, if it's 10K or 20K or 30K or 100K, whoever watches have a different desires. So this amount, having every month flawlessly easy coming in the account, uh, this person probably surely have different habits, different thinking, different things than you now. And so bridging this gap and being already in the vibration of this person, how this person would make decisions, how this person would decide what she will do, how she will do that. Thinking from this future self perspective, that's when I make the best decisions, and everybody who is using it make best decisions, because they are coming already from this abundance, from these higher vibrations. And the energy level and the higher vibration is not something which means to be energetic. If it's not something like inherit, I mean, you are energetic. So for you having a fun, this is you. But when somebody has, I don't know, program like help the cancer patients or something, does not mean that they need to laugh all the time, to be energetic, to be in high energy. It's more about high energy, like a super belief in ability to help this person. So there is 100% belief in it. There is no doubt, and this is picked up by the signal. These are the good vibrations. How we can increase vibrations, everybody know that gratitude, that's why also in the US there is so much about gratitude. And I'm also writing every day 3 sentences about what I'm grateful for. And there are many other exercises which are helping us to increase the vibration, but ultimately also love. And when there is a love, when they are good emotions, there is no space for the bad emotions. So the vibration has to be higher. And yeah, that's how you can vibrate on the higher level and to have the results faster, easier than if you would hustle, or if you would like to do it from the current self. When we are looking at how, if we don't know how, we don't go into it. We are just looking for the small improvement. And when you are talking higher vibration, you are using intuition, imagination, creativity. You are thinking out of the box how you can make it happen. So that's a very, very different operation system. and thinking system.
I completely agree with you. And it's an amazing way to work from. And you mentioned future you, and operating from that point of view is what helps raise the vibrations. But also, I wanted to point out to people that I like to reverse engineer. So I have set my 10-year goals where future me is. And I have actually started working backwards from that to realize what actions I need to take to reach that. And you do operate, you make completely different decisions because I mean, future me is a multimillionaire, and that's my 10-year goals. And I definitely know I'm not making or doing the same things then I could now. So when you start operating in that, it immediately raises my frequency and my thinking and everything. I mean, when we break this down, it raises your thinking, guys, completely. And I mean, if anyone's here, do you operate from future you or now? Because you're now, even tomorrow is not going to be the same person as right now. So I think it's
How
important
is
to
it
remember.
easy? How is it easy is when you make your goals really higher. When you 10x your goal, you cannot just work 10 times more.
Yeah,
Impossible to work 10 times more. You
exactly.
cannot be 10 times faster. So it's already like 10 times more means, okay, I need to think differently.
Yeah.
Then you can make a quantum leap.
I mean, exactly. I mean, that's just it. And I mean, so if you start realizing, like, even if you don't believe in woo, guys, you already know that to achieve a goal, you have to go to figure out what the goal is and what it's going to take to get there. So start thinking that, and you're going to immediately raise your vibration, your energy levels to that, and reach that. And then Jana also mentioned gratitude. One of the things I do, like yesterday when I was in my little moment, I admit I was throwing a little temper tantrum. When I had my moment, I stopped, I took the walk, but the whole time on that walk, I was saying out loud all the things I'm thankful for, right where I am now. And when you get in that process and you truly get that, it pushes out everything else, and you can't operate from a different area except that, because you just fill up. I mean, it's amazing when you do this.
It's really right. And it helps both people because we have usually two types of people. They are those who have really small goals, who don't dare, and they are in the I'm not good enough. I have to. These are this type of people. But we have also high achievers. They have a like very, very big goals, but then they are never satisfied because they look for the goal as a satisfaction. So if they will have million, they will be not happy because they will forget they will already want two or five.
Yeah.
So and for both, it's actually good to look and be grateful for what we have and then one
Right.
more.
Yeah. It makes
Both.
such a difference, because if you can't be grateful for where you are, then the universe definitely isn't sending you more. I think that's really important. Everyone is to realize that is you're not getting more if you aren't grateful for what you already got.
Yes.
All right. If anyone is here and you got questions for Jana, please drop them in the comments. I know a lot of you are listening. And for those of you who are catching the replay later, you can drop your questions into the comments, and we'll both be back by to answer those. And I wanted to tell you, Jana has brought along a little freebie for everybody that is freaking incredible. It is, she's got a printout. I don't hear, Jana, you just tell them what it is. You got the pretty printout.
I was thinking like um, what it could really like to make it more tangible, this mindset. And I have put in there 10 mindset shifts, which really help me 10x. And I'm sure that they can help you also 10x your results. Yeah, that's it. It's very small. tiny, but you can unpack every one of them and go into more detail if you feel like, and it has a potential to change your life.
Yeah, it might be small, but it is very powerful. As you guys know, I check everyone's freebies out, so this is a really good one. You're gonna want it. Even if you already have a good abundance mindset, grab it, because there were a few things I learned I did not know. So grab it, check it out. Okay, Jana, we're about ready to wrap it up here today. What is one final thought you want to leave everyone with?
Yeah, enjoying every moment, living in present. I think it's so important not to dwell in the past. Past is gone, and the future is just good for a few minutes of visualization, but the rest to be in the present moment. That's for sure. That's only there you can make a difference. We can make all difference. So whoever, but I have to say that we are privileged, Heidi, right? Because we are working with people who are already great, who are already advanced, who are already aware of many things. I'm amazed, however, they are. Also about mindset, also about other things, because they are change makers. They are doing changes for other people's life, either other people's individuals or businesses. So they are already the cherries on the tart. And if they make more money, it is so good because it will have a ripple effect. So it's not just more money for us. I mean, that's great. You will have a better life. You will have a nicer life, more luxurious life, whatever. That's great. You will have more abundance. But it also this ripple effect that you will help more clients. You will help
Yes.
more people. You will really help to make this planet a better place. And that's what is important for all of us.
Yeah, I totally resonate so much with that. Yeah, more abundance helps everyone. And yes, and it does ripple through. We have a good attitude, we're living in abundance, we share it with everyone else so that they can as well. So I love that message. Totally love, beautiful way for us to end this. And thank you so much for joining me today, Jan. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for everyone who's watching and even going to catch the replay. I mean, just I'm truly grateful to all of you. Thank you for being here. And join me next week. Jillian Hill is going to be talking to me. She's all about brand voice. So that's coming. And don't forget we're going to pop in the links for the freebies here into the comments right after the show here. So make sure you grab those, connect with Jana. She's always got some amazing things to say. And we will see you next time. Thanks everyone for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Heidi, for what you are doing. It's so great.